Hey, what's up guys, TotallyDubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review to Decoka, hopefully that's how you pronounce it, DK100s. Now, if you told me you've got £40 to spend, go out and buy me some wired earphones with active noise cancellation, I'd say that's absolutely impossible. Unfortunately, Decoka, or should I say fortunately, have got other ideas. The DK100s are fantastic. Now I'm going to get into why they are so fantastic in just a bit, before talking about its price. So first of all, yes, they're £40 and they can be found on Amazon.co.uk. You can also find them on Amazon USA for around $50. Links will be down in the description below in case you're interested. Now in terms of what you get in the box, you got the earphones themselves, you got some extra tips and extra ear hooks, which are these little things in case you're wondering, and then you've got a micro USB to USB connector. Why do you ask? Well, it's to charge this little ANC little unit over here, which is powered, as you can see, with a little green light to indicate it's on, and you've got a very nice small little pouch, which is great in terms of transportation. I can't stress how many manufacturers actually miss this, and it's actually great to see a manufacturer actually use this because you can pocket it and it's not going to be big in your pocket. Fantastic. Now in terms of the earphones themselves, the design and build quality, let's talk about that first. So it's terminated by a right-angled 3.5mm jack, which is gold-plated. Fantastic. Again, I can't stress that enough. Most people don't have right-angled earphone jacks, or they have a silver-plated straight jack. I just don't understand the principle. But anyway, the little control pod over here has the ANC function, which can be switched on like so. It takes around 2 hours for full charge and gives you around 20 hours of playback time. Obviously it's wired, so there's no Bluetooth Bluetooth that it has to use or whatnot, so you can get quite a lot of battery life through it, so long haul flights are a go with it. Now there's a little button over here called monitoring mode, and the monitoring mode will enable you to listen out for your environment around you. Great for if you want to just quickly cross the road or whatnot. Now in terms of charging it, as I said, a micro USB connector is over here, and that's what you'll need in order to charge the device. Obviously the earphones are wired, so you don't have to use them with ANC, so without this control pod they will still work flawlessly, so if you run out of battery you can still enjoy your music. If you want the ANC functionalities, you will need to have this charged, so just bear that in mind. Now the cable itself is rubbered, it's just average, as I would say. It has no cable kinch, which is unfortunate, but it does have an inline mic with a little microphone, so you can take calls and receive them on iOS or Android devices, and it's also got a 3-button remote, which is great in order to play, pause, skip previous, and also adjust the volume. A great little inclusion, and it's something that's actually useful if you're using it on mobile, which I presume most people will be using it on. Now the little control pod is situated on the right hand side, on the right earphone, and in terms of the design and the looks of the earphones, I actually like them. They're simple, simplistic, but yet effective design. All black design, which is kind of like a nice sort of solid build quality. The ear hooks are optional. You can have them on or off if you so wish. I would highly suggest having them on because you get not only a better fit, but also a way of keeping these earphones in if you go on runs. Now the earphones are worn straight down, and I should comment on cable noise and microphonics. These have very minimal cable noise and microphonics, which is great to see from earphones that will be used potentially, which I can only imagine if you've got ANC with them on the go. Now, in terms of the isolation, given the size of the earphones, they actually do isolate well passively, so they've got good passive noise isolation. However, bear in mind these are not over-the-ear or on-ear headphones, so they're not going to isolate as well as some of its ANC competitors, I would say. Now, other than that, generally speaking, I had no problem with, as I said, with the comfort, the isolation, and the build quality and design is actually really good. Now let's talk about ANC. Now the ANC functionality, I thought, okay, it's just going to be a gimmick, it's going to be pretty poor, it's not going to be that great, but hey, they're £40 earphones, what more can you expect? I was completely wrong. How wrong? I can't stress that enough. These actually block out a lot of noise, and their claims of 97% and 28 dB reduction in noise in just from my listening and not from actually instruments or instrument testing or whatnot, I can say is pretty accurate, or at least quite close to what I think would be up to 97%. The reason I say that is because I've listened to earphones and headphones that isolate well, custom earphones or active noise cancellation earphones, and I must say most earphones with ANC in them, or even on-ear headphones with ANC on them, have been quite disappointing. Over-the-ear headphones, even up into the £70–80 price range, have been okay, but I would say they give like a 60–70% reduction. Then you go up to the £200–300 £100 price range. You got the Bose QC35s and whatnot, and suddenly you got fantastic active noise cancellation. Step forward these, and suddenly you got £40 earphones that perform pretty much like £150, £200 headphones, over-the-ear headphones when it comes to active noise cancellation. That's just how good they are. I was just completely blown away of how good the active noise cancellation actually works on these. Again, as I said before, they are earphones, so they won't isolate as well as over-the-ear headphones. So if you're comparing like for like, of course, the over-the-ear headphones will have better passive noise cancellation, so therefore overall it will sound like they have better active noise cancellation. But in reality, these have a better active noise cancellation and worse passive noise cancellation. Hopefully that makes sense. If you got any questions, make sure you ask me down in the comments below. Long story short, I'm just trying to say that the active noise cancellation is fantastic. The level it does is great. It meant that even in busy commutes and in the London Underground, it actually does a fantastic job of blocking out as much noise as it can. I can't stress it enough, a very good job overall by the company. So if you're looking for active noise cancelling earphones, these are fantastic. There's one slight thing that I did notice, however, and I should mention it, is that it worked 90 to 95% of the time, but that 10 to 5% of the time sometimes would just quickly, like, it was almost like it was desynced, or would just feel like it was just a little bit, not lagging, but it felt like the active noise cancellation turned off and just struggled for a while because it heard some weird noises and then came back again. I'd suspect it's because of the of this being in my pocket and or this rubbing against my shirt or being under my coat, and suddenly the active noise cancellation kind of being a bit like, what the hell is going on? What am I supposed to cancel out over here? That only happened very rarely, but when I had both this out of my pocket and this obviously not dangled within my my coat or whatnot, it worked flawlessly. It's just something I should mention because some people might be wondering how the active noise cancellation works in different scenarios. Now, in terms of the sound quality, they're £40 earphones, but yet they don't perform like £40 earphones. They perform like pretty much £80 earphones. Yet again, another surprising factor of the DK100s, something again I did not expect. Now, in terms of sound quality wise, let's talk about the bass. Now, the sub bass is not say non-existent, but there's very little sub bass extension. So if you're going to be listening to like heavy D&B or R&B music, you might be wondering, where's that extra bass that I love? And you're not going to hear them with these earphones. The mid bass has a tight, clean slam. However, when it comes to its pronounced mid-bass response, I felt that sometimes a little bit uncontrolled, and therefore you can hear it losing a little bit of details in mid-bass. But overall, it's not overpowering, and it's got a decent amount of sound. A decent amount of impact. In terms of the mids, they're fantastic. They're forward sounding, something you wouldn't expect in earphones like this, or should I say earphones at under £50. Most of them are pretty much V-shaped. This was not the case. It was pretty, not flat line, but it felt that the mids were forward sounding, and therefore if you're going to be listening to vocals and whatnot, they'll come out really nice in these. Finally, you got the highs. The highs do extend very well, sometimes a little bit too well. By too well, I mean they're a little bit too sibilant. That is a problem because if you've got sensitive ears, then you will find these a little bit too hard to listen to, especially for long periods of time. If on the other hand, you can quickly EQ it via your, let's say, your power amp app or whatnot, or your custom EQ or whatnot, I think you'll find these to be a lot better. And yes, I just got an email. Then finally, the soundstage. The soundstage of these are actually relatively good. You've got a good depth and width to them overall. They sound quite nice, and they don't sound too closed, which is a common trait in most earphones that are under £50. So overall, the sound quality is actually very good. They're very mid-centric earphones. They've got a good high-end extension, maybe a bit too much for some ears who are a little bit more sensitive. And overall, the bass is good and it's not overpowering, but yet it could have extended a little bit more on the sub-bass tones. So overall, what do I think of these earphones? They're fantastic. For £40, there's no way you're going to find active noise cancellation earphones that do this well and sound this good. It's just incredible what the company has been able to do, and the DK100 is up there with my top wired recommendation out there. If I had to give them a mark, I'd give them 9 out of 10, let's put it that way, and it's very rare for me to give a very high mark to an earphone that, one, is potentially not that well known, two, that has a lot of features included, and three, that costs under £50. It just seems crazy. So yes, these are a fantastic deal if you're looking for earphones with ANC, or if you're looking for decent earphones with a mid-centric sound for under £50, then these should definitely be it. Just remember, they are quite sibilant. Alright guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you give it a like. Comment, as I said before, if you got any suggestions or any questions. Subscribe and favourite and share if you want to see more. And definitely check out the links in the description below in case you're interested in purchasing these. Alright guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. Take care and bye-bye.